usage, yung transfer of ownership, yung generation of ownership, and yung protection mechanism. So, para maintindihan din natin ng mas maayos, i-compare natin siya with physical property. No? Kasi magkaiba silang dalawa. Ang intellectual property is intangible asset, and physical property is tangible asset. So, in nature of ownership, ang intellectual property, gaya exclusivity and usage.
Ay, Juben. Juben. Baka malipat ko yung bati, di medical.
Siyempre kapag, kunyari, for example, kapag meron kang car, siyempre, no one else can drive it. Hindi mo pwedeng ipagamit sa ibang tao because sa physical property, you have full ownership or full control the over its use. While sa intellectual property, um, sometimes nagagamit siya without owner's consent dahil nga nag-exist yung intellectual property in intangible form. So for example, yung isang kanta, it can be copied or distributed without the creator's permission, which makes the intellectual property vulnerable to unauthorized use. That's why merong mga intellectual property rights no, na nakadesign to control how these creations are used and to grant exclusive rights to the owner for a specified period. Next is the transfer of ownership. So, ang intellectual property, they can be sold, they can be licensed, they can be transferred. Pero kapag tina-transfer mo, usually it involves the right to use or benefit from the intellectual creation rather than the physical transfer of an object. So, what does it mean? Ano ibig sabihin nito? Kapag kinompare natin siya with the physical property, kapag nagbenta ka ng isang physical property like for example, a house, yung buyer nun, nakaka-gain siya, nag-gain niya lahat ng rights, lahat ng karapatan kasi nga binili niya na yon, including the possession and the use. Pero kapag sa intellectual property, like for example, yung libro, kapag nagbenta ka ng libro, yung intellectual property rights ay naka-remain with the author or the publisher, while the buyer ay nakukuha lang nila yung physical copy. So, parang pag nagbenta ka ng book, yung ideas, it doesn't mean na ikaw yung bumili, sa'yo na rin yung idea, sa'yo na rin yung concept. Hindi siya nag-work sa ganong way, ang intellectual property. Next is yung duration of ownership ng intellectual property. So, ang mga intellectual property kasi, intellectual property rights, they are often time limited, no? May time limitation sila. Like for example, yung mga patents, no? Usually naglalast lang sila for 20 years. Tapos after that, yung work nila, it enters the public domain, meaning anyone can use it freely na. Next is yung protection mechanism ng intellectual property. So, ang intellectual property, it is protected through laws, no, specific to the type of intellectual creation such as patents, copyrights, trademarks, and trade secrets, which madidiscuss natin mamaya. So, itong mga laws na 'to, um, it provides creator with legal tools, 'no, para i-prevent yung unauthorized use and maka-seek sila ng damage in case of infringement. In case of infringement. So, now let's go on to the types of intellectual property. So, we have here the patents, the copyrights, and trademarks and trade secrets. So, the first one is the patents. So, patents provide the owner of a patent with the exclusive right to produce, use, or market the invention for a predetermined amount of time, usually 20 years. So, further elaborate this, ang patent kasi, intellectual property in the form of patent ay generated when someone ay nag-invent ng bago, ng useful na o kaya useful solution to a problem. Pwedeng maging device, pwedeng machine, process, or most of the time technological inventions kasi itong mga to. No? So, yung before ka maging eligible for patent protection, kailangan mo na dumaan sa maraming proseso. So, kailangan i-document mo yung invention mo in detail, i-explain mo kung paano ito nag-work, paano niya ito sinasolve yung specific problem. So, kailangan ng research, experimentation, development stages, and so on and so forth. Kagaya na lamang nung um, yung telephone guys, dalawa yung naka-invent. As far as I know, dalawa yung naka-invent ng telephone. Pero ang naunang nagkaroon ng patent is si Alexander Graham Bell. So, because of that, siya yung naging parang kilala na nag-invent nung bagay na yon. Ayun yung ibig sabihin ng patent. And naglalas lang siya in 20 years. So during this time na sa loob ng 20 years, yung ibang tao, they are prohibited na gamitin or ibenta yung invention na yun without permission. So yung mga patents, in-encourage niya yung innovation by ensuring that the inventors can benefit from the creations while also requiring public disclosure of the invention's detail. Okay? Next is yung copyrights. So, ang copyrights, it preserves original works of art, music, movies, and books. Copyrights grants authors the authority to regulate the reproduction, distribution, and exhibition creations of their creations. So, paano ba nangyayari to? Ang copyright kasi, it protects the original works of authorship, including yung literary, musical, artistic, and dramatic works, no? Yung copyright, it is created, no? The moment of an original work is fixed in a tangible form, such as writing a manuscript, composing a music, or creating a piece of art, yon. So, this means na once na yung creative work ay naka-record, na-recorded na or narita na, or otherwise embodied in a physical or digital medium, yung author automatically na meron na siyang copyright to that work. Unlike kasi yung patents, no? Yung patents, unlike patents, yung mga copyright protection, automatic na nagagrant ka na nito upon creation pa lang. Ayun yun. So, copyright grants the creator the exclusive right to reproduce, distribute, and perform the work as well as two creative derivative works. So, for instance, dito, yung musician nag-compose siya ng isang song. Automatically, may copyright na siya to that song as soon as it is recorded. So, through this protection, it allows creators to control how their work is used and ensures that they are compensated for its use. So, there are types of works that fall under the protective umbrella of copyright. So, meron tayong visual arts, so mga photographs, paintings, drawings, meron ding performing arts, live and recorded performances, sound recordings like sounds and music. So the next type of intellectual property is the trademarks. So trademarks preserves unique names, logos, signs, or symbols that are used to identify products or services from other brand or source. In the marketplace, trademarks assist customers in differentiating between goods and services. So, ang trademarks, it protect brand elements like logos, yung mga symbols, yung mga names, pati na rin yung mga slogans na nagdi-distinguish ng goods and services in the marketplace. So, ang trademark, it is created kapag yung isang company or yung isang individual ay nag-develop sila ng parang unique identifier para dun sa products or service nila. Yon. Like for instance, yung magde-design ka ng isang logo or mag-create ka ng memorable slogan na nag-generate ng trademarkable na intellectual property. So, these brand identifiers are crucial, no, for building consumer recognition and trust. So, ang trademarks then they can be renewed, no, as long as they are actively used. So, ina-allow neto yung mga businesses na i-maintain yung brand exclusivity over time. Like for example, yung Nike, okay? Yung parang swoosh na logo, naka-registered trademark yon na wherein yung trademark na yon, it distinguishes yung company's product globally. Next is yung trade secrets. So, trade secrets are exclusive company's knowledge or procedures that give an advantage over competitors, such as procedures, design formulas, or techniques. So, ang trade secrets, ito ay mga valuable or confidential business information na binibigyan yung isang company ng competitive advantage. So, kagaya ng sinabi dito, it includes formulas, okay, processes, mga strategies, customer lists, and so on and so forth na hindi publicly known. So, ang trade secrets, they are generated kapag yung isang company ay nakadevelop ng mga valuable pieces of information and they keep them confidential. Like for example, yung formula ng chicken ng Jollibee o kaya yung formula ng Coca-Cola, okay, famous siya na trade secret. Ayun, trade secret yon. And ang trade secrets, they are protected without without formal registration, no? The protection comes from keeping the information secret. So, ayun lang yun. I-keep mo yung information secret through non-disclosure agreements or NDAs, or confidentiality contracts, on security measures. So, ang trade secret, they can be protected if the secret is kept. Kapag hindi pinagsabi yung secret, kaya nga secret, diba? Trade secret. And not hindi mo siya dinidisclose to the public. Ayun. And the business can pursue legal action to protect its intellectual property kapag merong isang tao na ni-reveal yung trade secret na yun. Like for example, in-reveal mo Komaji recipe or formula ng Coca-Cola to someone o yung business, pwede sila mag-pursue ng legal action. Ayun. So, next na tayo. Let's talk about plagiarism naman. So, ang plagiarism, it's about presenting someone else's thoughts, words, or creations as your own without properly citing them is known as plagiarism. Plagiarism violates academic and ethical integrity, and plagiarism violates academic and ethical. Okay na. Naulit ko pala. So, hindi naman nabago sa atin yung word na plagiarism, no? Ito yung gagamitin mo yung isang information or pinopresent mo yung isang information ng isang tao na hindi ka naman nagsasite ng maayos, hindi mo nilalagyan ng proper citation. So, ayun yun. Ayun yung plagiarism. So, there are also some various form of plagiarism. So, una na dito yung copy-paste plagiarism. So, ang copy-paste plagiarism is as stealing someone else's work and passing it off as your own. It may consist of few words, sentences, or even whole paragraphs. So, ito yung parang form ng plagiarism na pinaka-simple or pinakakilala. Kasi, para siyang kinapya mo ng diretsyo yung gawa ng ibang tao, yung work ng ibang tao, tulad ng isang buong paragraph, buong sentence mo kinopya, or kahit ilang salita lang, tapos ipipresent mo as sarili mong gawa yon. So, ayun yung tinatawag nating copy-paste or copy and paste plagiarism. Next is yung paraphrasing plagiarism. If due acknowledgement is not given, changing a source's language while keeping the original meaning is still seen as plagiarism. Understanding and expressing the concept in your own special way is more important than simply speaking your words. So, ang paraphrasing plagiarism naman is kapag binago mo lang ng konti yung mga salita ng original source mo, pero hindi mo pa rin naman binabanggit kung saan mo kinuha or hindi ka nagsasite kahit pinaraphrase mo yan kung wala kang citation, plagiarism pa rin yun, matatawag pa rin yung plagiarism. Like for example, yung kumuha ka ng original, like for example, climate change is caused by human activities such as burning fossil fuels, tapos pinaraphrase mo without credit naman, okay, plagiarism pa rin yun. Kaya tinawag siyang paraphrasing, plagiarism kasi ipaparaphrase mo siya pero wala namang credit. Ayun yun. Next is yung mosaic or patchwork plagiarism. This deceptive form is merging bits and parts from numerous sources to create an apparently unique piece. It could be a combination of copied text and slightly modified content, resulting in a mosaic of information without proper acknowledgement. So ito naman yung parang kumukuha ka ng iba't ibang lines or ideas sa iba't ibang sources, sa maraming sources, tapos pinagsasama-sama mo sa isang paragraph o para magbukang para magbukang original work mo. So tapos hindi mo nilagay kung saan mo kinuha. Ang tawag doon mosaic or patchwork plagiarism. So for example, gumamit ka ng isang sentence sa isang website tapos kumuha ka ng dalawang phrases sa iba't ibang dalawa pang website, tapos ilagay mo lahat sa isang nilagay mo lahat sa sa essay mo tapos walang citation. Ang tawag doon, mosaic or patchwork plagiarism. Next is yung self-plagiarism. It is the reutilization of previously published content or portions of it while presenting it as new or unique work. While not illegal, self-plagiarism is regarded unprofessional and unethical, and it involves actions such as submitting entirely papers that already been published. So ito naman yung parang ginamit mo na ulit yung lumang gawa or na-publish na content, parang tapos ipe-present mo na new bago ulit. Um, for example, dito is yung yung ipinasa mong dating essay o kaya research paper sa ibang subjects. Tapos pinasa mo ulit sa ibang subject, like ulitin natin. Pinasa mo yung research paper mo sa English subject mo. Wait lang. Pinasa mo sa English subject mo yung research paper mo, kunyari, na ginawa mo dati sa science subject, tapos hindi mo sinabi sa teacher mo. O, yung tawag doon is self-plagiarism. Hindi siya illegal, sabi nila, pero very unethical siya. Okay. Okay po. Okay po, ma'am. Thank you for that correction, ma'am. I appreciate it. So, let's proceed to the last various form of plagiarism, which is accidental or unintentional plagiarism. So, nangyayari naman to when standard citation practices are ignored because of lack of understanding. So, eto yung type ng plagiarism na hindi mo sinasadya or nangyayari ito kapag hindi ka marunong ng tamang citation or reference format. Kahit hindi mo intensyon na mag-plagiarize, considered pa rin ito as plagiarism. So, for example, naglagay ka ng information mula sa isang article tapos nakalimutan mo palang banggitin yung author or yung source or hindi ka nakalimutan mong maglagay ng citation dahil hindi mo alam na kailangan pala. So, ang tawag doon, accidental or unintentional plagiarism. So, that's all for my part po. Thank you.
And now, we will talk about copyright and plagiarism. Copyright is legal, while plagiarism is ethical. Gaya ng sinabi ni Mirabel kanina, copyright is protect the original work, while plagiarism, gagamitan ng information ng ibang tao na hindi nagsasite ng maayos without citation. without author. Copyright protect the creator's right to control their work. Involve using work without permission. You can get sued for infringement. For example, uploading a film movie to YouTube. Copyright, meaning protektaran di sarili nga inaramid or work mo. And at karapatan tayo nga agad ti limit no adda ti mang copy jay unique work mo. For example, jay content mo, jay TikTok video content, I mean, kat insarda o kinopyatay jay sarili para di TikTok affiliate nga kongkonatan. In short, copyright, may karapatan ang may-ari to set the limitation. Ang copyright ay yung mapalibro man, kanta, painting, sculpture, advertisement, or video content. And now, there are two types of copyright. There are number one, economic, number two, moral right. Economic right, meaning makakakuha sila ng pera para sa kanilang work. And moral naman, pinoprotekta ang personal, hindi pang ekonomiyang connection between creator and the work. Like for example, if kopyain natin or i-share ng work without permission, and pag hindi covered ang license or copyright exception, and yun ang tinatawag natin copyright infringement. Another example, usually gumagamit ng caption ng mga content creator na nangiram ng content ng ibang tao. Like for example, disclaimer, no copyright infringement intended. I do not own the right to this content. All rights belong to the rightful owner. Paano natin maiwasan ang copyright? How do we avoid? Number one, gumawa dapat tayo ng sariling gawa o content o tinatawag nating originality or unique work para hindi magamit ng ibang tao. Number two, ask for permission or magpaalam sa may-ari or content creator. So, if pwede, hiramin ng content ng sariling gawa. Some people, madami ti tao nga pumayag, madami tiyaan. Pero it depends if they give the permission for the work. Pangatlo, give credit or tinatawag nating credit to the owner if iiram tayo ng content. Number 4, dapat natin intindihin ang patakaran ng copyright. Nagpapahagi ng consequence if laws and or regulations ng tawag natin.
Yan si ano na yan, super admin na. Parang sumagistra.
Overall, importante na mag-ingat tayo ng paggamit ng content ng author or may-ari nang walang paalam. Better yet, you will have to do your own work to avoid copyright. Furthermore, ang pinaka golden rule na natatandaan natin ay don't assume na libre lang to. Libre lang na manghiram sa online ng information, article, o iba-iba. Mapalibre man, video content, novel, poems, article, culture, advertisement, or video content. Dahil online, dahil online is hindi na free na content. Ganyan. And plagiarism will report by Mariel May.
So, plagiarism, ethical issue, concerns giving proper credit to the source, involves presenting work as if it were your own. You can fail a class or lose your job for it. For example, copying a paragraph from book into your essay without citation. So, plagiarism is when you use someone else's work or ideas and pretend that it is your own, you don't give or tell others where you got it from. For example, if you find information on Google for your essay but don't say where you got it, that is a plagiarism. If you use plagiarism, you could get punished, fail your class, or lose your job because of it. So avoid plagiarism. That's all.
Okay. In other words, when we talk about copyright, we're talking about the legal issues. So, any violation on copyright can lead to lawsuits. Ibig sabihin is, pwede kang maidemanda. Kasi may mga batas tayo sa pagka-copywriting. Kasi ang copyright, it protects the creator's right to control whatever work na gawa niya. And if you're going to use anything, for example, videos, mga songs like that, it always requires permission to use. Pwede rin na gumamit tayo ng mga credit to the rightful owner, mga ganon. Basta tatandaan nyo na ang copyright, pwede kang makulong, maidemanda. But when we talk about plagiarism, it is all about ethical issues. Yun ang pinagkaiba ha. When we talk about copyright, legal issue siya. Pwede kang mademanda. Sa plagiarism naman, it's all about ethical issues. Kasi nga, it involves giving proper credit to the rightful owner of those published work. It requires acknowledgement. Diba? Yung violation mo, it cannot lead to lawsuits, but it can lead you to academic or to professional penalties. So, kailangan every time that you are copying or using any paragraph from any published work, you always need to acknowledge the rightful owner of that published work. So, mamaya, I will be showing you how are you going to use that pag mag-research study na kayo. Mag-demo ako konti para makita nyo on how are you going to use that. I have a question to Mariel Cantos. Is copy pasting from your chat GPT considered a form of plagiarism?
Yes, ma'am. Kasi po kapag po hindi po niya yun, ang tawag doon, kapag po kinapi lang po niya yun nang hindi po niya binibigay po yung source po, plagiarism na po yun.
Yes, correct. Okay, you may continue the report. Sinong next?
Siya.
Sino ka?
So,
Hanggang gala. Sige.
John Lester, ma'am. So, after we tackle about the copyrights, the plagiarism, and the intellectual property, ngayon naman it is about understanding the fair use. So if we say fair use is a legal principle that allows the public to use copyrighted materials without permission from the owner under certain circumstances. If tignan natin yung Republic Act 8239, Chapter 8, Section 185. Ang fair use, nakalagay doon kung ano ang talaga ang pinaka-meaning ng fair use. So, Sa Section 185, sinabi dito, the fair use of a copyrighted work for criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, including multiple copies for classroom use, scholarship, research, and similar purposes is not an infringement of copyright. The compilation, which is understood here to be a reproduction of the code and translation of the forms of computer program to achieve interoperability. So this law says you can use a small part of copyrighted like movie, songs, or book for projects like school reports, writing a review, or making news story without getting information. Yun yung sinasabi nating fair use. And also, legal siyang protect sa mga programmers who need to look at another computer programs code to make sure their new different program can work with it. So pag sinabi dito na ang fair use is pwede tayong kumuha ng small part of someone else or yung ginawa ng isang tao or like a book or photo man yan or kanta man yan without asking permission as long as ginagamit natin ito sa mabuting bagay, like example sa sinabi ko sa teaching or sa reporting, sa research or sa criticism para mabalance natin yung creators rights with the public rights to learn and create new things. So, pag titignan natin yung RA 8239, there are 4 factors na nakalagay doon. Pero in our PPT, we include, linagay namin is 5 factors which na pwede nating i-consider. So, first is the purpose and character of the use. Second is the nature of copyrighted work. Third is the amount and substantially of the portion used. And fourth is the effect the use on the potential market. And the last is the are you good or bad. So, first is the purpose and the character of the use. Pag sinabi nating purpose and character of the use, ito pumapasok yung question na why we are using the copyright o bakit natin ginagamit ang copyright. So sa unang factor ng fair use, sinasabi dito na ini-include dito anong purpose natin, bakit gagamitin natin yung isang bagay or ginawa ng isang tao. Like examples. Ang isang teacher kumuha siya ng isang small clip ng kanta mula sa YouTube or kahit saan niya kinuha. And pinakita niya ito sa mga estudyante niya. Ang tawag doon is purpose and character use kasi kumuha siya ng isang clip or konting clip sa ibang tao na gumawa and ginamit niya iyon or ang purpose ng paggamit niya is para maipakita sa mga estudyante niya. Paano naman natin nasasabi na yung tao is ginamit niya yung ginawa ng iba pero ginamit niya sa illegal na paraan or example is ginamit niya para siya ay kumita ng pera. Like example sa mga promotion like sa Coca-Cola na an example ni Mia kanina. Ginamit niya yung clip ng isang nakita niya sa YouTube and ginamit niya ito para promotion sa Coca-Cola. So dito sinasabi sa purpose and character of use, ang favored ng fair use is ginagamit natin dapat or may purpose tayo in good way. Ginagamit natin yung isang copyrighted work sa magandang paraan. Pero kapag ginamit naman natin ito sa commercial or promotion, ang tinatawag doon is direct copying. Or dito, dinedetermine sa purpose and character of the use if we are building upon the original work for the public good like commentary or teaching, or we just trying to profit from it without adding value. So next one is the factor of nature of copyrighted work. Pag sinabi natin namang factor nature of the copyrighted works, it refers to the type of original materials being used. And it is important because fair use favor use of factual works like manuals, research data. Pag sinabi nating factual works, ito yung mga makatotohanan na gawa. So, kapag sinabi like factual works over the creative works, pag sinabi naman nating creative works, ito yung mga novels, songs, or art. Ang nature of copyrighted works, nag-refer siya as original material being used because copyright law was primarily created to protect original creative expression. May stricter if you take a portion from a poem than a paragraph in a factual textbook. Ang sinabi dito, nilikha or ginawa ang pangunahing protektahan ang original na proyekto ng isang tao kaysa naging mas mahigpit sila dahil ang mga patakaran kung ang kinuha mo ay isang bahagi ng isang tula kaysa sa isang talata mula sa isang textbook na puno ng mga katotohanan. In other words, ang fair use mas naging strict sila dahil minsan yung mga taong gumagamit ng mga copyrighted works, binabago-bago nila yung mga nakukuha nila. So doon na pumapasok yung mga creative works like the novels and the songs. The third one is the amount and substantially of the portion used. These factors look how much of the original work was copied, both in quantity and importance. Fair use is more likely if you use only a small amount of the original and ensure you do not take the heart of the work. The most critical or memorable part that makes the original special, using an entire work or its more pivotal section weighs heavily special against a claim of fair use, as it suggests you took more than was necessary for your purpose. So, linagay naman yung amount and substantially of the portion used. Dito naman, linagay ito para dito sinusukat naman kung paano natin kinuha yung mga kung paano karami yung kinuha natin na copyrighted work para sa gumawa ng kinuhanan natin. Dito, ang pagkuha sa buong gawa o sa pinakamahalagang section nito ay lubos na lalaban sa pag-angkin ng fair use dahil nagpapahiwatig ito na ang kinuha mo ay sobra pa sa kailangan. So, like example dito, ang kailangan mo lang naman is sa isang bagay or sa isang ginawa ng isang tao or someone else is konti lamang, pero yung kinuha mo sinobra-sobrahan mo. Dito na pumapasok si amount and substantiality of the portion used dahil sinobrahan mo na yung pagkuha mo ng information sa ibang tao or sa ginawa ng ibang tao. And number 4 is the effect of the use of the potential market. This often the most important factor and examine the economic impact of your use on the copyright owner. You are unlikely to qualify for fair use if your new work acts as direct substitute for the original, thus hurting the owner's current or potential ability to sell their product. The court asks if your use deprives the creator of revenue they would normally earn from their work, favoring uses that do not compete with the original sales. So dito naman, madalas ang pinakamahalagang salik or sinusuri nito ang epekto ng iyong paggamit sa kita ng may-ari ng copyright. Malabong maging kwalipikado or qualify yung paggamit mo sa fair use kung ang bagong gawa or bago mong ginawa ay nagsisilbing direkta kapalit ng original work. Kapag ginawa natin ito, nakakasira ito sa kasalukuyan o potensyal na pagbenta or paggawa ng may-ari. Dito, tinitignan na ng korte kung ang iyong paggamit ay nag-aalis ba ng kita ng normal na kikitain ng lumikha or yung ginawa ng original worker mula sa kanilang ginawa or pinapaboran nito ang paggamit ng hindi nakikipagkompetensya sa benta ng original work. So sa number 5 it is the are you good or bad? Dito, pag titignan natin yung RA 8239, apat lang yung nakalagay na factors ng fair use or understanding the fair use. Pero linagay namin yung are you good or bad dahil isa itong naging factor dahil subject judgment siya. Or in other words, kinikilala siyang informal na salik dito sa fair use dahil habang nakatuon ang batas sa apat na pangunahing pamantayan or yung apat na unang nasabi, maaaring isaalang-alang ng isang hurado or hukom ang intensyon at pagkalahatang pag-uugali ng gumagamit. Kung malinaw na sinubukan ng gumagamit ng masama ang loob, sadyang magnanakaw o abusuhin ang orihinal na lumikha, ang salik na ito ay maaaring makaapekto sa kung ano ang timbangin ng ang iba pang apat na legal na pagsusuri. So dito sa are you good or bad, dito natin tinitignan yung personality natin, kung gagamitin ba natin yung ginawa ng iba sa magandang paraan or sa masamang paraan. Dito na pumapasok yung kung ano yung pinaka-intensyon natin sa ginawa ng original work or sa ginawa ng ano yung pinaka-intensyon natin na or purpose natin sa ginawa ng ibang tao. So, yun ang 5 or 4 na factors ng understanding fair use.
So, next po is a better way and easier Creative Commons. So, ano po ba ang Creative Commons? So, it is a non-profit organization that provides free licenses that creators can use to give the public permission to use and to share and use their creative work under conditions of their choice. So, it's not right. It's not no rights. It's some rights reserved. This means that Creative Commons, nagbibigay po siya ng free license sa mga creators para payagan yung public na gamitin or ibahagi ang kanilang mga nagawa or gawa sa ilalim ng mga sarili-sarili nilang mga condition. So, ang ibig sabihin naman po ng some rights reserved is may mga karapatan pa rin hawak ng mga creators, pero pinapayagan nilang gamitin ang kanilang mga gawa sa pamamagitan ng ilang condition or mga paraan na naka-include sa kanilang creation. So we have also the Creative Commons na kikita iba't ibang makikita sa iba't ibang mga context. Examples are the speaker. Makikita rin po siya sa mga madaling many photographs of the pictures being from license. Next are the makikita po diba sa YouTube. We also have the yung sa Creative Commons ba. So makikita ninyo dito yung attribute by yan. So, meaning niya is, you must give credit to the original creator when using or sharing their work. The next naman is makikita din natin yung copyright. Copyright symbol po, which is already are received by the creator. You need to you need permission to copy or use their works. Examples are sa mga pelikula or music, makikita natin yung letter C doon na nakalagay, na ibig sabihin nun is bawal siyang kopyahin or i-upload ng walang permiso, na walang permit mismo sa creator ng music video or movies na yun. Another example is the public domain. So ito yung meaning nito is no rights reserved. So anyone can use, share, or modify the work freely. Isang halimbawa nito ay yung lumaang aklat tulad ng No Limitang which is pwede itong gamitin or i-discuss ng kahit na sino. Another one is the Creative Commons. So ito nga yung nabasa na, ito yung nagsabi na some rights reserved. So makikita natin ito example sa mga upload lectures ng mga teachers natin para magamit ng mga ibang estudyante. So makikita natin ito sa mga educational websites, mga Flickr, ganon, mga YouTube CC videos. Another one is yung S sign, which is commercial. Commercial use siya. So the work can be used for profit or business. Kung may symbol na like yan, S, like dollar, so pwede mo itong gamitin sa poster ng mga businesses. Makikita ito sa mga stock photo sites or commercial use allowed content like Pixabay or Unsplash. Another one is yung katabi niya, which is the non-commercial or NC. So, dito naman, you can use the work but not for business. And one example is sa Flickr. Pwede mong gamitin yung larawan sa project pero hindi mo siya pero bawal mo siyang ibenta. Pero bawal mo siyang ibenta. Sorry. Another one is yung no derivative works or yung equal sign. So you can share the work but you cannot modify or remix it. Pwede mong i-share yung article pero bawal mo itong palitan or isalin sa Tagalog. Examples are yung mga blogs, yung mga research papers na makikitaan natin ng sign, ng equal sign. That means derivative works. Another one is yung letter R, registered trademark. So the logo or brand is officially registered and legally protected. Makikita natin ito sa mga Nike, McDonald's, yung mga names nila is my sa so ibig sabihin nila is registered na sa legal. Another one is yung letter E, which is copyright of audio works. So this means it protects some recordings or music. So makikita natin ito sa mga music albums, Spotify infos, or different audio files. Yan. Nakasulat, may makikita tayong letter P. Ayan. Another one is yung SM, which means yung service mark. It was SM is used to identify a service, not a product. Iba po yung service and product. Example is yung mga Globe Telecom. Yan, makikita natin na may SM sila sa taas, which is, yun nga, station ng mga telecommunications. Another example is yung PLDT. Yun. SM are the companies offering services like deliveries or telecoms. Meron ding, yun yung nakabilog. So, meron ding another sign which is SM din, na text lang. So, sir, ibig sabihin nito is, the business has not yet been registered. So, hindi pa siya rehistrado pero ginagamit na. Makikita natin ito sa different business logos or services based websites. Another common symbols are trademark. So dito, product mark that has not been registered officially. So, ito yung mga tatak ng produkto na hindi pa rehistrado pero ginagamit na. Example is Pinoy Crave Pinoy Crave TM. Yan, makikita po natin yung TM na yan sa taas ng name mismo ng brand. So, makikita natin ito sa mga product packaging, ads, or logos ng mga small businesses. So, next tayo is understanding Creative Commons licenses. So, paano ba natin maintindihan yung proper na paggamit sa mga symbols na ito? Para maiwas din tayo sa pagiging guys. Number one is yung buy, which is attribution. Yes. This means that I must give credit to the creator. Almost all CC licenses have this. So dito, nabanggit ko na, if you're going to use a photo or any paperwork, is kailangan po ng credits to the owner para iwas sa plagiarism. So, yan. Another one is share alike. You can adopt the work, but your new creation must have the same licenses. So dito naman, you can modify or remix the work, but your new version must have the same license. Example, kung gumamit ng ito, gamit ka ni ba kung binong ka may C or comes, right? But lagay bago ginakan yan po. Next, non-commercial. Kaninong report yun, Miabel?
Nung other? if awan ni Kuya Adair, so kapag sinabi nating non-commercial or the NC, sinabi dito na you can use the work but not to to make money. Sinabi dito, pwede nating gamitin yung regional work pero hindi natin uh, uh, pero hindi natin makukuha or hindi natin maaaring makuha yung pera. Like example is kumuha tayo ng isang work ng someone else or ginawa ng iba, tapos ginawa natin is binenta natin ito. Hindi natin to matatawag na non-commercial dahil ang ginawa natin is kumuha tayo ng ibang work ng ibang tao or ginawa ng ibang tao para kumita. Ang tawag naman doon is commercial. So pag sinabi naman natin non-commercial is kumuha tayo ng ginawa ng ibang tao pero yung kita ng pera mapupunta pa rin sa mismong gumawa ng work na yon. Yun ang non-commercial. Pag sinabi naman natin na no derivatives to, hindi derivatives, na wrong siguro yung pinaka-edit. So no derivatives or ND, sinabi dito na we can use the work but you cannot change it. Pwede na daw natin gamitin yung ginawa or nagawang bagay or proyekto pero hindi natin ito pwedeng mabago. Like example, kapag kumuha tayo ng ibang information or ginawa ng ibang tao, gamitin natin ito, pwede natin gamitin pero hindi natin ito pwedeng baguhin kung ano yung nagawa mismo. Yun ang meaning ng no derivatives. Next one is
Jimmerman. Key resources. Number 1, Creative Commons official website. Creative Commons organization. Use their search tool to find millions of the free to use image, music, and more. Ang Creative Commons, pwede itong gamitin pang search tool para maghanap ng mga free to use na image, music, at iba pa. Ibig sabihin, pwede mo silang gamitin ng walang bayad o kailangang humingi ng special permission. Basta sundin mo lang ang mga kondisyon nila tulad ng pag-cite sa original creator. For example, kailangan mo ng photo para sa iyong presentation. Search sa Creative Commons para makakita ng mga image na pwede mong gamitin ng freely or libre. Intellectual Property of Office of the Philippines. ifopil.gov.ph for official information on the Philippines copyright law. Ang Intellectual Property of Office of the Philippines ay ang asensya ng gobyerno na nangangasiwa sa pagprotekta ng intellectual property o likhang isip sa bansa. Kasama na ang copyright. Sila ang nagtatakda at nagtutupad ng mga patakaran at batas na may kinalaman sa mga karapatang ito. Mahalaga ang IFOPIL dahil sila ang official na mapagkukunan ng impormasyon at gabay para sa mga creator, negosyo at publiko tungkol sa kung paano protektahan at igalang ang mga gawaing may copyright. For example, kung may plano kang magsimula ng negosyo na gumamit ng sarili mong brand name at logo, pwede kang mag-report sa IFOPIL website para matutunan ang proseso ng trademark registration at para masigurado na hindi mo nilalabag ang karapatan ng ibang kumpanya. University Writing Centers and Libraries. Excellent resources for learning how to cite properly and avoid plagiarism. Ito ay napakagandang resources. Nito para matutunan ang tamang pag-cite at para maiwasan ang plagiarism o pangungopia ng walang proper attribution. Sila ang tutulong sa iyo na maging responsible sa paggamit ng sources. For example, gamitin ang writing center ng iyong university para matutunan kung paano i-cite ng tama o correctly. ang mga resources mo sa thesis or research paper. Next reporter po.
And the last is key takeaway. The first one is consistently credit creditors to prevent plagiarism. Ito ay binabanggit ang orihinal na gumagawa para maiwasan ang pagnanakaw ang kanilang gawa o idea. The another one is respect copyright through permission or Creative Commons. Ibig sabihin, igalang ang copyright, huwag gamitin ang gawa ng iba nang walang pahintulot, maliban lang kung may lisensyang gaya ng Creative Commons. For example, kung gusto mong gamitin ang musika ng iba, siguraduhin mong may permiso ka o ito ay lisensyado para gamitin ng libre. And the last one is understand fair use requires careful consideration of transformative purpose and market impact. Hindi basta-basta pwedeng gamitin ang gawa ng iba, kailangan ito ay may pagbabago, term of transformative use, at hindi makakaapekto sa benta ng original. For example, kapag gumawa ka ng parody o review tungkol sa isang pelikula na pwedeng gamitin ito sa ilalim ng fair use. That's all.
So in other words, sa copyrights, copyright protects creators' original works, or sinabi kanina, ito ay legal issues that giving them control over how their creation are used. Pag sinabi naman natin na plagiarism, it's an ethical issues that act of using someone else's work without credit, violating honesty and respecting for intellectual property. And last one is the fair use. Pag sinabi naman natin fair use, it provides exception that allow limited use of copyright of material for purposes like education or criticism without permission. And that's all. Thank you.
May question ba sa mga reporters natin? May nakikinig ba sa mga nakain? Ay, meron ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po.
O, anong question? May question kayo or wala? Naintindihan nyo yung report nila?
Yes po, ma'am.
Sureness. Okay, can you remove muna your presentation? I will just show you a little bit of Ako muna yung magpre-present saglit. Ang entire screen. O, diba? Naka-entire screen yan. Okay. For example, as a student, I will be showing you some bits of trick pag gumagawa na kayo ng research study ninyo. Kasi sooner or later, you will be having your research study. For example, gagawa kayo ng research and magsa-search tayo halimbawa, we will be visiting Google Scholar. So, in Google Scholar, marami kasing mga published works dito. Magbigay kayo ng isang topic na pwede nating i-search and gawa natin ng simpleng study. Financial management. Financial management kayo, di ba? Financial management. Maghahanap tayo ng study about financial management. Halimbawa, this is a book on financial management. So, pwede natin siyang i-cite, di ba? Pwede tayong kumuha ng mga parts dito sa libro na to. So, if we're going to cite that one, ito yung kanyang APA format. ito yung ilalagay mo dun sa study mo. For example, wait lang. Buksan natin tong libro. Okay. The title of the book is Introduction to Financial Management, and it was written by Paramasivan. Paramasivan, ayan o. So, nandito yung about this book. Ayan. About this book, it is published by the New Age International on the year 2009 with 283 pages. For example, gagamitin mo yung book na yan sa study mo. So, pwede na according to Paramasivan Naglag. Very nice. So, marami ka ng statement, halimbawa dyan, mga statement mo. So, paano mo siya isa-cite besides sa according? Siyempre, kukunin mo, you're going to click on the reference, and then mag-insert citation ka. Add new source, and then, di ba, yung pinili natin is the book section. So, ang author natin is si Paramasivan. Book. Wait lang, saan na yung book kanina? Okay, book. So, si Paramasivan. Ano yung title ng book? What is the title of the book? Okay, the title of the book is Financial Management. So, this is, the author is si Paramasivan. So, naman yung author natin. The book title is Financial Management. And ang year niya is, anong year? Ugton Taylatan, 2008. Tapos, halimbawa, ang pages doon na kinuha mo is from page 12 to 24. Doon ka nag-cite halimbawa. Ano ba yung publisher niya kanina? The publisher is New Age International. So, pag-click ko ng okay, automatic, nandito na yung, na-cite mo na siya. And then, pag halimbawa, you're going to paste na yung mga references mo, pagdating ng end of the study mo, balik ka ulit dito sa reference, and then to go to bibliography, and works cited, automatic, lalabas na yung libro kung saan mo sinite, yung paragraph na yon, yung na in according mo para doon sa libro mo. So, ganyan dapat yung gagawin nyo para hindi yung sinasabi kanina there is an accidental plagiarism. Para maiwasan mo yung accidental plagiarism, make sure that every time that you are citing something from a published work, kinukuha mo na agad kung saan siya nanggaling. Kasi alam mo, dito sa reference na to, on the bibliography, iniipon niya kasi lahat ng mga citations mo. Para pag kailangan mo na siya, kahit ilan pa yan, kahit marami yan, ipipaste niya lahat yan in alphabetical order, and APA format kasi yung ginagamit natin dito sa school. So, yun yung the best na pwedeng makatulong sa mga students. Question? May question pa ba? Question? Di bale, naka-record naman to. I will be posting this one in my YouTube channel para mapanood nyo ulit if you want to watch. Para sa mga absent, doon na rin nila panoorin. May question pa ba? Pag wala ng question, kindly open your cam. Mag-screenshot na ako. Ako yung walang cam ngayon. Ayaw mag-open ng cam ko. Kasi naka-OBS ako, nakabukas kanina yung cam ng OBS ko eh. Sige na, pa-open ng cam. Mariel, sinong kasama mo dyan? Walang sound. Naka-silent. Kasi nag-record na ako ng attendance. So, kung may kasama ka dyan na wala dyan sa ano, ma-absent sila. Dapat, kung 3 kayo, chat nyo dun sa may group chat natin, yung mga pangalan, para hindi ma-absent. Sino yung mga kasama mo? I-chat mo nga. I-chat mo na lang sa GC later. Okay, smile. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yung mga hindi naka-open, absent. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yan. May question? Wala na? Okay, I will be posting a quiz in Canvas. Uy, ang cute. Kanino yun? Kapatid nyo? Magpo-post ako ng quiz sa Canvas. Ipopost ko naman kung kailan siya available. Okay? The next reporter will be on Thursday. Tapusin na natin kasi ilang weeks na lang mag-exam na kayo. Next reporter will be on Thursday, same time. Sige na, bye-bye na. Bye everyone, ingat.
Bye pa,
And
ma'am.
have...
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Okay, bye-bye. Happy lunch.
Eat well, guys.
Nasi tayo, guys.